Never Say Die: The Myth and Marketing of the New Old Age, by Susan Jacoby. Narrated by Laural Merlington. Copyright 2011 by Susan Jacoby. This unabridged audiobook is published by arrangement with Susan Jacoby and George Borchardt, Incorporated, and was produced in the year 2011 by Tantor Media, Incorporated, which holds the copyright thereto. Preface. Anyone who has not been buried in a vault for the past 2 decades is surely aware of the media blitz touting the new old age as a phenomenon that enables people in their 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond to enjoy the kind of rich, full, healthy, adventurous, sexy, financially secure lives that their ancestors could never have imagined. Much of this propaganda is aimed at baby boomers now in their late 40s, 50s, and early 60s, because marketers are betting that the boomer generation will spend almost anything on products that say, "Hell no, we won't go," to a traditionally defined old age. I too have read, and occasionally written, optimistic screeds on the joys and advantages of the new old age, also known as young old age, also known as successful aging. But I now regard the relentlessly positive vision promulgated by cheerleaders for the extension of longevity as more of an exhortation, even an ultimatum, than an evidence-based portrait of old age as it is today, and is likely to remain for the huge baby boom generation. As the oldest boomers turn 65, it is past time for a more critical and skeptical look at old age as it really is in America today, especially for the old, those in their 9th and 10th decades of life. When I told a 40-something colleague that I was writing a book about the myth of young old age, she asked how old I was, a question still considered impolite in most contexts. I told her I was 63. "Surely you don't think of that as old?" she asked in a horrified tone. Actually, being an American who came of age in the forever young decade, I do not usually think of myself as old. But when I recall how quickly the last 2 decades, packed with love and work, have sped by, I know how close 80 or 90 really is, as distinct from whatever subjective notions I cherish about my own youthfulness. Old, in America, always seems to be a decade, or preferably 2 decades, older than one's own age. The difference between 40 and 60 is that, at 60, the imaginative leap to old age is not only possible, but inescapable. The idea that there is a new kind of old age, experienced in a radically different way from old age throughout history, is integral to the marketing of longevity. For who would want to live to be 100 if, as individuals and as a society, we accepted or even suspected that the new old age, after a certain point, encompasses most of the vicissitudes of old-fashioned old age? There is a considerable amount of truth in the assertion that many old people today, if they are in sound financial shape, if they are in reasonably good health, and if they possess functioning brains, can explore an array of possibilities that did not exist even a generation ago. "If" is the most important word in the preceding sentence. The idea that we can control the future by aggressively focusing on and taking care of ourselves is an article of faith for baby boomers. Yet in many instances, successful aging, or the outward appearance of successful aging, means only that a person has managed to put on a happy face for the rest of the world. Present an image of vigor and physical well-being, even when bones are aching. Smile even though a heart may be breaking with loss. Do everything possible to conceal memory lapses. Demonstrate a consistent willingness to try anything new, and scoff, with just the right light touch of humor, at those misguided contemporaries who refuse to live in the present. Here's what one cannot do and be considered a person who is aging successfully. Complain about health problems to anyone younger. Weep openly for a friend or lover who has been dead more than a month or 2. Admit to depression or loneliness. Express nostalgia for the past, either personal or historical. Or voice any fear of future dependency, whether because of poor physical health, poor finances, or the worst scourge of advanced old age, Alzheimer's disease. American society also looks